SABC News, independent and impartial.
From an African perspective.
Due to pregnancies each year. Daniel Kijo, SABC, Dar es Salaam.
Zambia's economic performance for the year 2021 has seen different dimensions tagged to it, such as not being impressive because of various factors like poor performance of local currency, kwacha, huge debt burdens, and effects of the global pandemic. Coronavirus also immensely contributed to the bad economic drive. But what is the picture like for 2022? Our Zambia correspondent, Arthur Davis Sekopo, tells us more from the capital, Lusaka.
The year 2021 has been considered tough by some Zambians, but others have described it as stable with regards to financial and economic stability at home state. At national level, the country faced a number of challenges like huge debt burden, seemingly choking the country's economy, COVID-19 among other factors, as can be confirmed by economist Rita Mkandawire.
2021 was it wasn't the easiest of years either.
This has since forced the Southern African country to now seeking an economic bailout from the International Monetary Fund. And luckily, things seem to be going the right way, as the country has now reached a staff-level agreement that has since seen the money lender offload, yet to be approved by the board, $1.4 billion. Citizens have had a great deal in terms of coping up with the economic challenges of that year. But what is the picture of 2022? Economist Rita Mkandawire once again.
There's an increment across board on everything. Our spending has just gone up. Our income is stagnant. If you look at businesses, because the cost of production has increased, I foresee businesses laying off some workers because they won't afford to pay all of them eventually. Even if it doesn't happen at the beginning, it could even happen later, like during the course of the year. My caution would be that the government puts in mind the livelihood of the average Zambian. We have to see how the year goes, but it's already being viewed to be a very tough year.
For Maxia Junza, a small and medium entrepreneur, 2022 is a year of promise, due to a clear and decentralized national budget, saying it is aimed at taking resources back to the people like him on the ground. However, Mr. Sajunza agrees that in 2022, pain will be felt by Zambians as they adjust to meet certain demands that will make their country better. He further calls on Zambians to work hard.
Zambian people must quickly cultivate the attitude of work. We must do away with laziness. Let us go back to work. Because this government is promising. It is presenting a lot of opportunities for young people to be busy, for everyone to be busy. People of Zambia must understand that this country will only be developed by Zambians themselves, and people of Zambia must stop this habit of being spectators, sitting on the terraces. They must take 100% control of this economy.
The manufacturing sector, through Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Zambia Association of Manufacturers, Lewis Chimfwembe, predicts that it will perform well in 2022, considering that it has seen a positive trend in 2021 compared to the previous year, 2020.
The manufacturing sector performance as of year, which is 2021, was 5.6. It's a very huge jump from negative 3, to 5.6. The manufacturing sector accounted for 8.5% of GDP and contributed 0.5% to GDP growth, which was at 3.5. So based on these improvements in the economy and other measures that we have seen, the local content pronouncements that the government have made in the 2022 budget, other encouraging measures that have come up, the reintroduction of physical incentives in the multi-facility economic zones, we expect that the sector is going to perform better this year compared to last year.
However, Mr. Chimfwembe says the manufacturers too foresees hardships due to an imminent increase in the electricity tariffs and an already hiked fuel prices, and on that score calls for remedy.
And we do hope that government manages the energy sector well to avoid it suffocating the investment.
President Hakainde Hichilema and his finance minister Stumbeko Musokotwane are asking Zambians to tighten their belts, saying some of the decisions made and those yet to be made will be tougher, but at the end of it all, citizens will rejoice when the fruits of their hardships begin to show. With all this, economist Rita Mkandawire is optimistic that Zambians, being resilient people, they will pull through.
We are resilient people. We need to remain as positive as possible. We have to cooperate. Let's bite the pill right now, the bitter pill. Tomorrow is a better day. The challenge is the past regime had messed up the economy, so there are certain measures that the current government has to put in place.
Reporting for the SABC's Channel Africa, in Lusaka, Zambia, I am Arthur Davis, Scopo.
The Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the country's 2022 appropriation bill into law, making it certain for implementation. However, the concern raised by President Buhari over the inclusion of over 6,000 new projects which were not part of the original fiscal document he submitted for implementation has continued to raise the dust in the socio-political sphere of Nigeria. Channel Africa News correspondent in Lagos, Collins Atonangbe, reports.
The controversy is not as much as what projects were included or removed, but the reality of where and how the fund needed to implement the new projects will be sourced. The president raised the issue of padding of the budget, saying that it could make the appropriation bill unimplementable. But he went ahead to append his signature with a promise that he